Greetings, dear viewers. We are happy to welcome you on the international discussion dedicated to the unprecedented large-scale event, an international online conference, Global Crisis Timed for the Truth. On the 4th of December, millions of people all around the world, for the first time in the entire history of humankind, witnessed an unprecedented large-scale event. And I'm happy to say that global crisis timed for the truth has happened thanks to participations and union of people from 180 countries. And this conference lasted 12 hours. It was a live broadcast, and it uncovered the most relevant and vital topics of our contemporary society. And I'm very happy to introduce my co-host today, Selina from Germany. Hi, Selina, how are you?
Hello, I'm fine, thank you.
And our guest today is Tabassum Khalid. Tabassum is now living in Turkey. She is from Iraq, and Tabassum is now a struggling Iraqi refugee. She's a former high school teacher, and today we will talk about the difficult situation of people who were obliged to leave their home country for any reason, and what they meet during their way to a country that they can be safe. So I would like to start with giving you a floor, and maybe Tabassum, you can shortly share your story with us and tell us a little bit more about what happened to you and what is your current situation.
First of all, thank you for give me this chance to share you this roundtable about the global crisis which affected refugees. One of them who get the impact of this global crisis is our refugees. Our current situation is too hard as other refugees. We have to say that it's hard to be a refugee. It's hard to leave your country, your beloved ones, your place. It's hard to be a refugee in a strange country. It's hard to start a new life. But when you're forced to leave your country for many reasons, maybe because of war, conflict, death threats, or even climate change. So you have to live a new life, but you have to face and struggle hard to live. Not only for us, for our friends, we live this hard situation, and our friends, we meet them, they live the same. For us, my husband got death threat, and we forced to leave our city, our country, and we faced a horrible escape journey. We experienced 4 days of horrible escape journey by Iraqi borders to Syria to Turkey borders. You know, when you were healthy, it's too hard for you. But as the situation of my husband, because he is a paralyzed man, he's on a wheelchair, and I'm the only one with him. It was triple for us suffering, tripled our suffering. He needs pushing, he needs, bathroom every few hours. He needs special care in normal situation. How about it if it was in escaping journey? So we have to move in many places in one day. We have to use many transform vehicles. It's hard when we reached Turkey borders and cross it. As if we were in a dream. Till now, we were in a dream, but when this accumulate of refugees because of delaying the process of their files made this problem bigger and harder for them. You know, I talk about Iraqi refugees. Iraqi refugees, as you know, the crisis in Iraq started before many conflicts in the area. So since 2003, many Iraqi refugees left Iraq to the neighbor countries. They applied for seeking asylum legally. We will talk about legal ones. The other ones who took the sea, they reached and resettled and even took nationality. But the legal ones who are stranded, still now stranded for we have a friend, more than 10 years, they are still waiting. So it's hard to struggle to live as you were in your country. It's no way you can't do this in this strange country unless you have a stable life. Stability, it's something so important to rebuild your life, to raise your children, to know what's your future, even to forget the bad past that you have passed through. I think it's hard because healthcare was cut from Iraqi refugees here in Turkey, and no other organizations that hear us, because there are, every time we ask for help us to reach the settlement, another crisis starts. After Iraqi refugees, Syrian refugees started, Syrian crisis. Then Syrian refugees started with files of Syrians. And crisis in 2015, the refugee crisis started, and they put Iraqi refugees behind. And nowadays, Afghanistan, they took Afghanistan refugees and they reached America, reached many countries, but they put Iraqi refugees behind. So we are struggling. We need our help. We need the world help to reach safety. Just unstable life. That's what's the most important thing that hurt us. We can't imagine or describe this kind of hurt.
We are very sorry to hear this. Really, Tebeso, it's very hard to hear, and it's difficult to imagine, to go through this. And as you mentioned, you still think it's a dream, and your husband cannot believe it. Does it mean that the truth that you have met, the true reality of the society, the facts which you didn't get help, you were not prepared for it? You expected something different, something better, more help.
You are right. Before these 6 years that we arrived Turkey, everything was well. We heard our colleagues that they reached before us. It was easy to get safety. Just, I'm concentrating on the word safety, because all of us, we become refugees because we need safety. We thought that humanity was the first thing that what the world is looking for. Humanity is the main goal for helping refugees. Humanity is the main thing for organizations to take refugees. But sorry, we faced the opposite. We faced neglecting. We faced delaying. We faced nothing. It was a shock for us. My husband, everywhere we went, they said he's a special case because he needs special care. Everywhere we went, no, you have to wait. No, you have to wait. You are Iraqis. You have to wait. Others, I'm sorry, I have to say it, other nationalities with us, they registered before us in 2, 3, 4 years. Now they reached and resettled. Why? We don't know. We need it just stable. It's very hard to find a place for disabled people. The person, every family that has disabled person, it's their suffering is double because they need the equipment, the special equipment that for disabled people, they cost too much, this equipment, and they need for special care to use them. Sometimes even by special people, I have to do it with myself because I can't ask help from anywhere because we are in unstable situation.
Yes, it's everything is on your shoulders. You are nobody helps. You are by yourself, and this was actually also what we realized when we were preparing this documentary. So during 4 months of the preparation of the documentary, which was premiered during the conference Global Crisis: Time for the Truth, we learned a lot and acknowledged a lot of things. And sometimes it was so scary. The film was about refugees and human slavery. Sometimes it was so scary. But, we knew that only by uncovering this truth about what is happening in the society, we can change everything. And we, the people who were preparing this film, we ourselves realized a lot of things, and we understood and experienced, and we felt what people feel. And my question would be, how important is it really to have the transparency and openness of information in order we could make necessary changes and necessary actions? Because, transparency and openness of information is an obligatory requirement of the creative format of the society, and it is its fourth pillar, fourth foundation of the creative society. We understand the importance of this information. Please share your opinion about it.
Every side in our life, it needs this transparency, not only with the refugees. We need, even as you said, in creative society, we need it to be in our real facts for other people. I think that for refugees, this transparency will make their situation clearer for other world. Many people, they don't know what is the refugee state. This state is hard to describe. If you make any clear interview about any refugee who use transparency, this is hard to put it in a mind that is sorry. It's not open mind that is against refugees and doesn't want to accept any refugee in their country. This will be so difficult to use transparency with them. No, it's you have to sometimes even use media, use somehow oblige them to help to know, or sometimes they have to face the same experience to know what is this situation and to know the meaning of a transparency to deal with these refugees. I think the idea was clear.
Yeah.
And I'm very thankful for your courage to be here to talk about what you have passed through, because this is something that is not easy. And I know that many people who have been through this situation have the difficulty to speak in front of everybody of what they have experienced. So I'm very thankful that you are doing that. And if you don't mind, I would like to ask you if you would mind to share a little bit of your personal story, if that is okay for you.
because of my husband's situation, we could not think at all to leave our city, because it's hard, as you know. It's hard to leave our city, our home. But when he gets threat from the terrorists, because he was an officer, so he get death threat. So we started to plan to run away from our city. It's too hard to find among this terrorist group, to find anyone to get you out of the city. When we find one, it was a miracle to find him. When he took us, we were, believe me, we were ready to face death, more than reaching Turkish borders. Every time they stop us and asking for the passengers, he was talking about them. They are going to visit their relatives. 4 days we were preparing to die. 4 days we were facing death. Although one of them, a sniper, shot us, and the bullets above our heads, and we don't know how we get out of the situation.
And even knowing that, you took the decision and to encourage this and to go, even that maybe you could die.
You know, if you die when you are trying, it's better than when you die at your place. You know, they came to you and kill you. But when you are trying to rescue yourself, it's better than dying at your place.
Yes.
So at the second day, we got a car accident. We faced death another time. It was our car was destroyed. It's not our car, the man's car. It was destroyed, and we 2 nights we slept in the open land. We don't know who will come to us, how will get bombs around us. We don't know where are we in this land. Don't know nothing. Just only the man who is with us. He took us to the place that they know about it. The last night when we slept in the open land and Turkish borders, there at that night there was an attack from, I don't know, they said the name of one group. Just we see the bombs from the left to right, and we are in the middle. At this night there was a lightning, so we could not differentiate between bombs or lightning. We start just to receive a bomb and dead. That's it. We don't know how the light starts, and we changed our place. Then they told us that Turkish authorities opened the borders for vulnerable cases. So we went to that point and we get into Turkey.
I have been also helping refugees here in Germany, and I know that they are passing traumatic things, and not everybody maybe is that lucky as you, and they, instead of receiving the help that they need, they are living in these refugee camps, and they are receiving from the government money, but this money goes directly to the refugee camp. And the refugee camp is also from the state, created from the state. So it's like just transferring the money from one institution to the other, and it's all from the state. But there is not enough done for the integration. And they are there stuck by themselves. And if, for example, a young man gets a job, he is not able to pay all that money for the refugee camp, just for a small room. And most of them have to share the bathroom, the kitchen, and that is really bad, the situation. So it's, maybe some people will say, oh, this is conspiracy theory, but there have been a lot of facts about it, that they are doing money with the refugees. And I have experienced it myself. I have been doing the paperwork for the people because they were not able to speak the German language. So how are they supposed to do the paperwork to receive the help of the government if they don't have nobody who does the paperwork for the people? And then I have been asking around, and I'm doing a lot of research on my own, and this is what I found out. And some people told me already. They tried to publish it, they tried to bring it to the media. I did it too, but they don't want to bring it. They don't want to bring the stories. And this is the truth. So there is not enough help. And I think it's something totally unfair. And the human being is really selfish. If I am doing good in my situation, I don't care what the other people are passing through. But if it would be me, imagine everyone who is looking right now, who is listening to the story, and it's just one story of more than 1,000. It's a lot in this kind. So imagine it would happen to yourself, to your sister, your brother, your mother. Imagine your family, and you get in such a situation, and then you have to leave everything you loved around yourself, everything, your whole life, all that you have been into, and you leave knowing, facing the death, knowing that maybe I can die, and every single moment maybe I will die. But even this, I take my decision, and I want to survive, and I'm fighting for it. And then I come somewhere where I have the hope to get some help, and I have to face a lot of issues and a lot of problems and a lot of people who maybe hate me and don't want me in their country. So imagine that. This is what we need to understand, everybody, and especially the people who are against refugees, because we need to act in love, because it's happening, and it is now something we cannot change. We cannot tell the people to leave the country again. So we have to try to do and make the best of the situation we are having now.
And especially in the face of this global climate change, and during this Time for the Truth conference, the biggest part of the conference was dedicated to the opinions of scientists and specialists. They were telling us about the fact that climate changes are happening. They are not happening because of human impact and because we produce too much CO2. They are happening because it's cyclicity. We cannot avoid it. And that means that every year there will be more and more people who will become climate refugees. So now we have war conflict refugees, we have economical refugees, we have different types of refugees, but climate refugees, they are not even recognized as a vulnerable group of refugees. And we are in the conditions there will be more and more people in such a situation, and in this consumerism format of the society, as you also, Selina, mentioned, that everyone is thinking only of himself, and we don't care about other people. So what should we expect? I absolutely agree that, as also Tebesu mentioned, she never expected to become a refugee, right? So, right, Tebesu, you never expected that you will find yourself today in such a situation. So this is also an important point to be discussed, that yes, everyone can today, due to the situation in the world and all the threats and crises we have already met and we are going to meet more in the future, that everybody is vulnerable. And I would like to remind you that today's international discussion, is dedicated to the topics raised during the unprecedented large-scale event called Global Crisis Time for the Truth, which took place on the 4th of December 2021. And it took place thanks to volunteers from 180 countries all the world. It was simultaneously translated to 100+ languages. And today, we have an opportunity to unite the whole world and to continue the discussions. And today's topic is a vulnerable situation refugees are. And I would like to pass the floor to you, dear Mr. Balvana. So please kindly introduce yourself and share with us what you do, and tell us more about yourself and why you decided to do what you do.
Thank you, the host. My name is John Ronald Barana. I'm in Uganda. I'm calling from Uganda. I stay in Uganda, and I do my work in Uganda. I'm working with a local national governmental organization, NGO, called Care for Refugees and Migration Global. It's a local NGO which supports refugees in various capacities. We give livelihood programs. We do give pro bono services, free legal services, and health programs and education sometimes where need be. I'm so glad to participate in this conference. Time to speak the truth in the global crisis. And our topic being refugees, it's quite a crucial one in this country and the world altogether. In Uganda, we were under the UN Conventions of 1951 that establishes and recognizes the refugees. Then we have the African Union Convention, and we have the protocol of the 1967 Convention that was rectified in our local municipality laws in Uganda, the local laws in Uganda, that we are trying to follow and to guide us on how we handle the refugee situation in Uganda. And the refugee situation in Uganda is, we are trying to improve it, but also it is being increased or escalated by a number of factors. We have refugees from my country. Basically, is a host community country. We have refugees from the Republic of Congo, South Sudan, Burundi, Rwanda, and Somalia mainly, that come to my country, Uganda, to seek asylum. And when they come here, they're facing a number of issues that the world should look at, and because we should be one person in the world. And I think at the end of this conversation, at the end of this conference, we shall have action points and we see how to solve some of these issues. It is terrible in Africa here. Refugee life is quite not easy. It's not quite easy. They are facing a number of problems. Where they are coming from, they have what they call internal conflicts within where they're coming from. Some of them are caused by the climate change. For example, we have over 300,000, 400,000 refugees who come from the Democratic Republic of the Congo, who run because of the volcanic mountain which erupts in the eastern part of the Congo, which borders Uganda. They are affected by these volcanic eruptions in Goma, Democratic Republic of Congo. They displace over 400,000, a full big area in square miles, and they had to cross to Uganda. They come to Uganda, and we have to host them. They can't go back because of the hazardous environment caused by the volcano. And then we have people who have been affected because of war. People are fighting for power, intertribal conflicts. People are running away in large numbers to cross to Uganda. And then we have those, like, for example, recently who were affected by the locusts and affect the environment. They eat leaves of trees. They affect crops of the food people that have food that which people have planted, and they have nothing to do. They have to run away from such an area to look where they can look for food. And when they reach there, they face several issues when they come to a host country. For example, in my country, we host them in a, like, near a forest area gazetted by the government. But at the end of the day, they have cut trees. They cut trees to construct simple huts where they can have shelter. They're cutting these trees to earn a living, to make charcoal, to sell firewood. Yeah? They cut trees to plant food which they can eat. Because some of the NGOs, the international organization and the local NGOs, we cannot sustain whatever they need. So we need to come with a solution. We are calling upon the international community, all the people. We need to give these people training. We need to give them training to earn a living. Instead of them cutting a tree, let's give them cheap power, electricity. So that they don't cut trees, they use that electricity to do economic activities. Which, for example, if we train them to do carpentry, they use electricity. To make furniture, they sell, they earn a living. We are encouraging government to create industrial areas in some of refugee camps. When I talk of refugee camps, to some of you who have never been to Africa and Uganda, we are talking of over 800 square miles. People are just in tents and in gazetted areas, under thatched houses. It's a big area. So it is, which can affect, their activities really affect the environment. So we are calling upon people who have skills, who have training, international communities, to come and work with some of these refugees. We give them skill in order to mitigate some of those factors that lead to the destruction of environment, which cause climate change, activities which affect the environment.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing these facts. I think that every fact which is brought to today's discussion, everything what Tebessio shared with us, everything that you, John, shared with us, it's difficult to believe for people who have common sense that this is happening in our life, and many similar facts and very scary and terrible facts also made part of the material which was collected by the participants of Creative Society movement to prepare a documentary about refugees and human slavery. Also, there were documentaries and videos about ecological situation, about climatic situation, like all together. Like we are living on the same planet. We are one, let's say, family, but we are not good householders. We are not good neighbors. We are not kind to each other. And the question is that definitely many people came to the understanding that changes are necessary. If we don't make necessary changes, we are coming to the dead end. But are we capable to find solution if we don't unite, if we continue to look for solutions in small groups? As you mentioned, you are calling for the participation of the world community. And we are calling for the unity of people from all around the world in order to build the society where every human life is in the first place, there we will be able to withstand this climate change and ecological problem by uniting all together. There we can build a society that there is no war, no violence, no hatred. There is education for every person. So I would like to know your opinion, how you see the necessity of this unity of people today in order to make these changes. Please share your opinion.
My opinion about a free society that everyone should enjoy. Sometimes it should be, I can call it, we need to have a free democratic society. We need to have a just society where each and everyone's voice is heard. If I have a political difference with anyone, can we have a ground where we can reach a consensus? Because some of these refugees are political refugees running away from their mother countries to look for safety of their life just because of political differences. People can we reach a consensus whereby if we say we are gazetting a certain area for a forest, which can reduce hot temperatures that can cause volcanoes to erupt, can we save the environment? Where can we save that forest to create for the future, or to mitigate the temperature? Can we have a society where we can have dialogue like we are doing now? I believe if there is dialogue, there is consensus in everything, we shall respect everyone, and I believe we shall have an answer of one person under one world. I beg to submit.
John, I just wanted to say thank you that you're here sharing everything, your experience. And I wanted to ask you also if you could maybe talk a little bit about what you exactly do. Can you give like an example, what your work is like, what you do? Do you have maybe an example you can share?
What I do personally, I have a legal background. My organization, we give legal services to refugees. Those have issues in the host communities. We give them trainings to earn a living, livelihood programs. We have we have over 1.5 million refugees registered. But of course, like recently, people crossed Uganda and registered. They look for save their lives. So
basically,
yeah,
they are people without papers, no passports, no names.
My sister can tell you something, that when a war erupts in an area, you may not even look at your daughter or son. You may find at the border of a host country. You just run to save your life first. And then I was trying to ask a friend of mine that, can't we come up with a data system whereby if you, Caroline, we are in one family and our children, bullets start erupting, you take this other direction, I take this other, but when we are going to the same country of refugee, and then they take same data, and then they compare, then they do family reunification in the camp. But sometimes, for example, you are put in the eastern part of the country, in that camp, someone also, your daughter is put in a different camp, and it sometimes it's terrible, practically here sometimes, but we are trying to come up with different systems and coming up and us to have the passion to help others.
What you do is so important, and thank you so much. And thank you for every person who is contributing to help refugees and people in the vulnerable situation. They are real heroes. I admire these people. Yeah.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I'm so happy about such global conferences. you may not know what is happening in Uganda when you're in Czech Republic, when you're in Europe, when you're in Germany. It's a platform that helps us share. Sometimes it's an opportunity. Last time I was sharing, someone, a refugee from Middle East, from Syria, about a refugee from South Sudan, in Congo, in Uganda. I like this. Sometimes we have similar issues, and it's, as young people, we need to we need to come up with solutions to some of these issues. It's a ground. We should have one voice to tell our leaders.
That's why we come to find a solution, and the solution is a change of the format of the society, because I think it's a big shame for our society that people in such terrible situation, they have to beg for some kind of help. There should be equal distribution. There should be protection of people. And,
Exactly.
During one of open discussions, the psychologists and psychiatrists took place. They were discussing about, in the conditions, for example, of a critical situation, it can be either a war conflict, which is normal in our society, or a climatic disaster, which is happening more and more every day, and we are witnessing it with our own eyes. How a human will behave, a human who is, as Lina mentioned, is a pure egoist, because in this type of the society, we think how to survive this struggle. And majority of people, they think that in such conditions, I will behave like human. But psychologists said that in such conditions, fear and agony will lead people. And we should not have the format of the society where people can manifest their worst animal sides, because unfortunately, then people start to panic. Then it's scary. It's really terrible. We cannot let it happen. We cannot let it happen. This is why the changes and the world dialogue should have begun yesterday, not today. I'm very happy that the conference took place today and millions and billions of people watched it. But we had to start discussing it years ago. We are already late. But the good news... Yes.
Can I tell you an example?
Sure.
In support of your point, we have a country like Uganda. You're having 50,000 refugees crossing to Uganda. We have we are under Commonwealth country. Commonwealth. We speak English. We have Congolese, South Sudanese who come. Now imagine, how do you integrate their education system? And then there's someone age is moving, but then you're trying to come up with a solution how to integrate this person from where the education system is so different from what you have. And imagine you think about the future of this person in this competitive world which needs education. So we're coming up, you come up with we need to have a solution. I know by the end of this conference, we shall have several solutions.
Now, I just want to share also a little bit my personal experience, my personal story, because I have been living 9 months in Angola, in Africa too. So I have been living there also under really bad conditions. And my family comes originally from Chile, from South America. And I have been also traveling a lot in my life, also backpack travelings. I have seen a lot of poor people. I have shared also to be poor, even if I maybe not or never been in that way, but I have shared it like I was too. And I know the difference. And something that really touched me was when I was in Angola. I remember there was a girl, she lost her parents. She was quite at the same age as my children. And they were like fighting every day for something to eat. And she had not the possibility to go to school or to have a good education. So they are facing a lot of problems, and that was before this refugee thing. Now I know that they are becoming also a lot of refugees also from Congo, because it's right next to it. And this girl, just to see that she will never have the opportunity to get out of the situation, that let me think about of it. Because when I came back, I had the opportunity to come back. I'm a nurse also, to work and to change my situation. But what if you don't have another opportunity? What if you are just stuck in this situation and you have no way out of this, and this is like your future? You know, you don't have another choice. And that made me really sad to think about. And I have seen so many talented people, so many smart people. And the other thing that I saw is a lot of corruption, a lot of companies ruled by other countries.
Very much.
The richer gets richer and more rich. And I have also had the experience to get around people from government. And it was, it was so incredible. It's disgusting. For me, I cannot say it with other words. It's disgusting how a human being just thinks only for their own pocket, and they don't care about nothing else. They just want to fill their own pocket. They just live for the moment. They live really good. I have seen the luxury they have. Many cars in front of the houses, a house, millions of dollars. This is something I experience also, the difference between a consumistic world we are living here, and there are so many people that they are not happy. They are in depression. And even the problems that they face maybe in Africa, but they are more happy. They share, they live together, they are more human. And this is also something, I don't know, it's incredible. And like I said, if you don't feel it, if you have not seen it, if you have not experienced it, it's like you don't care, because I'm living my life here, I'm fine, so I don't care. And we should think about. And
in the contemporary society, this consumeristic format of thinking and consumeristic. Yes, please. Yes, Teresa.
Before a few minutes, when you said begging for their rights, refugees, it's the main reason for accumulation for the huge number of these refugees in many countries. Is the main thing that Selena said. It's about corruption. Many organizations we have faced, they have a huge number of corruption. This is the main reason of accumulation for refugees. Many people, they exploit refugees just to take by taking their IDs to take the aid assistance, but they go to the markets and they buy it, they sell it. Refugees, they got nothing because of corruption. Many organizations get benefits from this accumulation of these refugees. So many organizations, they don't want to make these refugees reach their goals. Corruption is one of the big catastrophic things, disastrous things in our societies.
Corruption, we exploit each other, we try to dominate over each other, we hate each other, we don't see that our neighbor is actually the member of my family. Basically, we consider humanity like divided and segregated into countries, nationalities, religions. We forgot that our only nation is that we are humans. We don't have any other nations. All other nations, they are artificially created. The only natural nature of us is a human nature. This is what we have in the consumeristic format of the society. And we understand, doesn't matter now in which country we live, we understand that we should change it. And this is why I wanted to ask you, if you had time to watch the conference, Global Crisis, Time for the Truth, and what is your main understanding? What is something what touched you the most during this conference? Can you share with us, please? Because this is a conference where a solution was given.
The conference was great. No, the word great, it's unfair for it because it's wonderful. I watched most of its parts. But you know, many times my tears, I couldn't control my tears because the disasters around the world, it was big, not only for refugees, no, for everyone, for every picture that they edit in the conference. They made us, although even you have open mind, you will be rich with information that you have may know nothing about them, but you may make it rich more. It was great. I really appreciate your efforts in making this conference.
So thank you for people who were brave enough to prepare this conference, to start talking openly about the issues which are taboo in our society, because they are taboo, because if we don't start telling the truth, then we won't change. It will be like this forever. So yes, and I would like to ask you, Selina, what is your main understanding or something what touched you the most during the conference?
And I know already about a lot of problems what are going on in this world, and it's something that has been through my mind for many years, and I have been really sad. I don't want to say I have been in depression, but almost, because I felt so alone with my thoughts and I didn't know what to do about. And now we are coming to this touching part that it's like the first time I am getting involved into something where I see a movement of different kind of peoples all over the world that I have never seen before, and that gives like a platform, like a forum for everyone to speak about experience and to share about maybe also knowledge. And I think this is so important because I have seen through the years that there are so many people who are living just their lives. Even nowadays it's worse because we have like Instagram, Facebook, all the media things. We are all occupied with our work. We just go to work, go home. We are so busy. The life has become so fast. And this is, for example, it was different also in Africa, you know, and in South America still, but it's getting worse too. So it's becoming more and more. We don't have time, you know. We are just like in this system, like a slave. It's like a slavery in a different way, but it's like a slavery, and you have to earn money, and you have to just do your function, and you have to, you know, you don't have time even to think about anything, to think about yourself, to connect with yourself. You don't have time for it, and it's like your emotions, you are like separated from your emotions. And I think this is also a reason why we are becoming more and more selfish and maybe also narcissistic, because all these platformers, influencers and all this, it's something you are like showing to the world something, an image of yourself, like a mask, that it's not even you, it's not yourself. You just want to show maybe how, I don't know, how your Christmas day is, what did you eat, in which restaurant I'm going, what clothes I'm wearing. But this is not something that can make us happy. So the point is for me now to see people for the first time with a kind of similar or maybe the same thoughts that I'm having, and that are becoming like a union, and to do it voluntary, not thinking about money, not thinking about it because I want to get rich, or just to say, oh, I'm doing it, I'm doing charity, I like to help people, just, you know, to let other people know that I'm maybe a better person, I don't know. It's because it's necessary. It's because it's human life, human beings, and we are all human beings. It doesn't matter what color or from where we come, if you're poor, if you're rich. And I'm a Christian, and I have seen also many people who say they believe in God, but where is your love for the human being? Where are your actions? It's not just sitting every Sunday in the church and just to be, you know, part of the church and praying, but where are the actions? We are facing so many problems, and where are we making a difference? Where are these actions? This is what I'm missing. You know, it's difficult, I know, for me too. But now I'm really thankful and grateful for this opportunity that we are able maybe to change something for the future. And this is also one thing. Everybody is welcome. Everybody can be part of it. Everybody can write an email. I'm going to say it now. It's info@creativesociety.com, right? Yeah, and everybody.
Very interesting. Very easy to join the project.
Yes.
Yeah,
I was at the beginning, before I did it, I was thinking about it, and I said, well, I don't know if I'm going to do that, and I don't even know what it's really about. And then I thought maybe it's an organization, and I don't know. Well, and then I just wrote, and then I got more and more involved, and now I'm sitting here in this round table, and I'm sharing my experience. We're having this conversation, and I could share also a song of mine to this project, and it's all about love. It's just amazing. I cannot explain it in different words. You need to do this experience, and everyone is free to get as much as involved as they can or she can, because if I don't have time to be sitting on the round table, then there is no need to. But maybe someone is gifted in translation. Also, many thanks for the translators, because it's amazing what they are doing every time. Also for the conference, to sit there 11 hours, imagine this, 11 hours to be translating something, and you're not even professional, you're doing it voluntary, you know, just because you believe in this movement, you believe in this love. I think it's something so great. And the same thing for all the other people. When we made this video, there were coming people from another city of Germany. They came, nobody earned a cent, but they came to do this video. And now you see the product, you see this video. So they need also, the people need to know the story behind this video. I had never seen before the people in the video, and it was recorded all over the world. And everybody made a big effort to make this happen, to make it possible. I canceled on one day my whole agenda, all the appointments that I had on that day, I canceled it. And I said, okay, I'm going to do it. I remember that I told Valerie, she called me and said, Selena, we need to do it, but we have only 1 week. It will be next week on Monday. Can you do it, please? And I said, oh my goodness. Usually I could not, but I made it possible. I said, okay, I will do it. I know the result will be awesome. And you see it. It is awesome. And that is what it's about. Sometimes we think it's not possible. But if everyone would have thought like this, for example, a Nelson Mandela, a Martin Luther King, imagine if they would have thought, no, what change can I make? Just one person, what can I do? No, it's too late. No, we can make a change. We just need to believe together and make a union and use this to share experience, to maybe get ideas, because many heads are better than one head. And then we will have also ideas, and we have many scientists who are sharing already their experiences and their ideas. And even if someone normal has an idea, just write to this email I said and give the idea. Maybe it's great, maybe it's awesome, maybe it will make a change. You never know. We just need to believe in this.
Yeah, we invite everyone to join the movement Creative Society towards the conference Global Crisis Time for the Truth. And we would like to ask you, send us your questions to the email info@creativesociety.com, your feedback, your comments, maybe your video comments, anything you would like to know, anything you realized, understandings, and also something what touched you. Please, also you can get in touch with us in Instagram, in Twitter. Just find Creative Society or hashtag Global Crisis Time for the Truth anywhere. And yes, before we finish, I would like, yes, Tabassa, please.
Sorry, no, about the idea that Selena said about the love between each others, to help each others. You know, we have to praise the Creative Society because they put human being, the first 8 concepts, human being, when they put it in this first point, is the main thing that we have to put about it. Look, human being is, we can make it, is the beginning and the end. At the beginning, in global crisis, unfortunately, the same human being who start this global crisis because of the industrial countries in the organizations that get benefits, at the end, the same human being is the vulnerable. The impact is on the vulnerable people who get the negative things, the negative results. The same human being. So if we get if you be together and cooperate to make this human being in the right way and make it to reach the point that we all want to reach it, by acknowledging them, the importance of our Creative Society, we will be all on the right track, you know.
We can reverse.
Yeah, you're right.
And the key word is all, not someone, but all. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tabassa. Thank you, everyone. Our time for Roundtable is over. And thank you for being with us today. Your opinion, your participation is very important. And thank you very much for supporting Creative Society in everything, for translation, for ideas, for social media spread of these ideas. So thank you, everyone, dear guests, dear moderators, dear technical team.
Thank you so much. And I want to share something with you that I don't know if you saw at the video that we made. And I think it's a nice sign to share. So if you could do this to the camera, maybe all together. Yes, I would like to share this because this is all what it is about. It's about love. It's a heart. Yes. Thank you. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You from where?